What's going on, everybody? And I hear the comments, Hunter, where's the video? Where's the in-season push? You said you would post an in-season push. Okay, calm down, bro. Calm down. Here it is, guys. So basically, 16th in the world last season. Pretty insane for me. Obviously, my best finish by a significant margin. I was one game away from top 10, but I unfortunately did end up losing that game. You guys will see later in this video. I recorded all the games live, obviously, but I didn't commentate on them. So I always do this in season where I just commentate over my games. This was the first game against Betfist, a really shaky start right here, where I had to go for a rocket on that like expo, after already playing a bunch of elixir on top of it. So 3.0 expo, ISPO, you know the vibe. It's going to be sweaty, bro. Arguably the best 3.0 player. He did get top 10 on 2 accounts, so, I mean, you can probably say he is the best this season at least. You know, it goes by season pretty much. There's always 3.0 people towards the top. I just go defensive expo here. The reason I did this is because if I don't play this, he's going to go for his expo, and look at my hands. I have nothing. So, basically, at this point, I was like, you know what? Bad start, really bad rotation that I'm in. If I can just survive till double without getting any expo damage on my tower, I can be happy and maybe try and win this game. So, you know, obviously I would have preferred to not take this damage early on, but there's nothing I can do about it when I get in a bad situation, so I just got to kind of have to go with it. At this point, I was like, wow, I am cooked probably. He goes for that. I just have to go for like a... What did I even do right here? I don't remember. I think I log, and then I go for the Tesla like this. Ice Wiz does clean up the archers just barely, which was super clutch, and then I could just skellies like this. Luckily, he does go for a skellies right there, so I have to go Ice Wiz like this, and at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed. I was like, bro, he's just spamming me. This was literally what I was screaming in real life. But anyway, Ice Wiz gets a couple hits, and look at my elixir bar, guys. You think I'm cooked here, right? I honestly thought, I was like, wow, am I dead? I was praying for that timer to go to double elixir quicker. I think I just... What did I even do right here? I think I nailed this back, which was so clean. It was so clean, bro. It was so dang clean. Because he was expecting me to go for an Evo Tesla on 0, I think. And he still gets like 400 damage, which was stupid. I'm not going to lie. But I went for the skellies up high. And at this point, you know, I'd survived single. Even though it didn't look like I was supposed to survive, to be honest, right there. But we did it. So he goes for the Evo Archers, and then he drops one of those bad boys opposite lane. I just go for the Knight plus Rocket on top of that, then log the Archer on the left-hand side. My cycle was very, very awkward. What you want, ideally, in an Expo Mirror matchup is you always want to play your Rocket first, and then play, like, a second card. As you can see right there, I had to play the Knights after the Rocket. So, yeah, already things were just not going well. And my cycle was wrong, so I needed to try and fix it at all costs. I went for the Tornado. I believe he Expos opposite lane again. Here in a second. Oh no, he goes for the Tesla the river. I just cycled my Knight. I just got to keep it close, right? My goal is to keep it close as long as I can until we get to the end of the game. I just Evo Tesla right there. It does take out the Expo pretty nicely, and then I'm like, you know what, we're feeling good. I'm just gonna go for a skellies, and then I think I slap down the defensive Expo soon, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what I did, to be honest, but I just go Ice Wiz like that. Knight to block the Tesla. Oh yeah, I'm recording this now, obviously. That's why I don't remember exactly what I was doing a couple days ago. Also, this is the last time we're gonna see Evo Tesla have a shockwave. That was a nice prediction, by the way, on that expo, but it didn't really matter too much because he did have the Evo Tesla in cycle, so I had to spend quite literally everything I had, and then I almost lost a game here, I think. I think he gets expo damage. I can't remember. No, he doesn't, but my Ice Wiz gets damaged. That was kind of clean. And then he goes for an expo on 0 here, so I Tesla up high to kill the Knights. And then I do believe he expos. And finally, we have the rotation where I can rocket, then skellies, which is the perfect rotation you want when you're defending the expo in this matchup. So, we're looking good here. It's a sweaty game. I do lose a couple games in this video, so I'm not going to spoil if I win or lose any of the games. But I'm just going to go Ice Wiz. Oh, I'm saying that like I'm playing. I went Ice Wiz like that. I just go for the expo defensively here to counteract whatever he tries to do. And then, yeah, basically, this is just going to help me set up for the rest of the game. I know he's going to Evo Archers. Okay, I kind of messed up that NATO. I actually remember being super mad at myself at this point in the game. I was like, dude, what am I doing? I'm throwing. I was debating switching lanes. I can't remember if I actually did or not. I do go for a decent defense here. I think he fireballs this, if I'm not mistaken. No, he goes for the Archers, the bridge. I just go for a Tornado to pull everything back. Let my Ice Wiz clean up the Archers, plus the Expo. And man, that shockwave with the Tesla looks so beautiful. I'm so sad it's gone, by the way. Okay, so I go for the rocket here. I know you're thinking, wow, that's aggressive, but I kind of have to just go for it at this point. We do have a good rotation where I just get back to my Knight to defend his Expo. I believe he goes Tesla or Archers. There's the Archers. I just go for the Ice Wiz. Kind of a bad Ice Wiz, to be honest, but only 25 seconds left. I didn't really think he could break through in this amount of time. He could go for the 2 fireballs, but I do believe I win the game with... Wait, did I even win this? I can't remember. I think I won this game, but it was really close. You're going to see right now, 13 seconds left. I just went for the tornado up high. Basically, I knew I had to get my Evo Knight down or I will lose, so I just dropped the Evo Knight. Then we get the rocket down just in time with 4 seconds exactly, which is just enough to win the game as well. We win by about like 100-ish HP. Wait, 100 HP on the dot, I think, yeah. It was an intense game. To be honest, I think we both played it pretty well. Somehow I did survive in a couple situations where it was looking a little bit sketchy, but we did manage to pull off the win against the best 3.0 player of the season right there, so that was solid. So yeah, if that game didn't have your heart pumping enough, we were matched up against Aurora. I'm not sure how to say that. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he does go for the drill first play. Luckily, we do get the Tesla down. I probably, looking back at this, if I was going to do this again, I would have NATO'd that to King Tower to get that activation off rip. But at this point, guys, I was like sweating in season. Like this was sweaty times. Obviously, these are probably, all these games were recorded in the last like 3-ish hours of the season, so they're all going to be super sweaty. I went Ice Fist on top of the wall breakers. Decent start right here. Drill, though, is not the matchup you want to be looking for in this game, obviously, but he doesn't have, I can't remember if he had, I think he has no poison, so that's better for me a little bit when they don't have a poison to just, you know, constantly spam me. But yeah, we had a decent start. I just go for the Tesla a little bit late right there, so the Magic Archer does get a few hits, but honestly, I was fine with it because I knew he didn't have a big spell, or at least I think he doesn't have a big spell. So I just went for the Expo like this. And I was like, you know what, we're chilling. If he gets back to a Magic Archer, I can just go for my Tornado on top of this. Yeah, that was perfect Tornado right there to kill the Magic Archer really quickly. And then I believe he Spear Goblins. I tried to go for the log. That log was supposed to predict the Spear Goblins, but he didn't drop them immediately, which was, you know, honestly a smart play by him. Because if he would have got pre-logged right there, the game would have just instantly been over. So he was fighting for his life. We still get a really good start because he doesn't have a tank in this deck, which is super good for me. But you know, it was far from over. Like, I could easily still lose this game. There's situations where I can get lined up by a Magic Archer and I don't have any Elixir, and it would just be GG's. Or I could get Evo Drilled when I'm on 0. You know, so many things could happen. Evo Drill could just magically take my tower like it does sometimes anyways, even when I have enough Elixir to defend it. But he goes for the Evo Drill right here. I remember he goes for the Spears at the bridge as well, so I knew he played in the... I knew as soon as he played the Spear Goblins at the river that he played the Drill in the back. They always do that play. So I believe I just went for the log to counteract the rest of that Drill, and then I was like, okay, he might Magic Archer, so I'm going to hover my Evo Tesla. I don't think he did, actually, because he knows I have Evo Tesla in rotation, and then I just knew I needed 3 rockets, so I slapped the defensive Expo down. We know he doesn't have a big spell or a tank, which is super, super good. This matchup is very good for me. I just go for the Skeletons down low, and then I go for the Evo Tesla up high to counteract that Magic Archer. I believe, what did I even do? I think I Ice Wiz that. Yeah, not bad. Did take a few drill stabs. This game, you know, it seems like I have it in the books, right? But it is honestly a little bit harder than you would think to just like secure a win against drill Magic Archer decks, even if you have a good setup on defense like I do right here. So I believe he starts going opposite lane. I could be wrong about this. I'm not 100% sure. Nah, does he? No, he still goes same lane, and then he goes opposite lane wall breakers. So I believe I just logged that Evo Tesla was perfectly timed. I did kind of mess up that log, so we get some damage. I played this game a little bit sloppy, to be honest. I just wasn't playing 100% clean like I needed to be, and I was kind of mad at myself for it. Honestly, I get mad at myself a lot for how I play when it's not perfect. Like right here, I believe he just gets a free Goblin Stab or a couple of them, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just throwing. He does go for the Magic Archer. This was when I kind of got scared, so I was like, okay, wait, I need to log that Magic Archer so it doesn't line me up like the fresh fade I'm about to get today. By the way, I'm going to the barber. Side note. But anyways, okay, I think I just needed a Tornado plus a Rocket to finish off the game, so I just went for it, and then I think I defended to be safe. You know, I don't want to choke the game last second. That would be pretty awkward. Predict the Magic Archer. You already know I got that on lock, guys. Come on, don't play with me. But that was decent. I just Rocket the tower to finish off the game, and yeah, good matchup. I beat this one fairly easily with no struggles since he didn't have a Knight. Knight would have been super frustrating. He does try and go for a last second drill right there, but this was a big win. I remember being pretty high up after I won this. I think I checked my rank. I was 20th, so I was like, okay, you know, we're kind of starting to cook a little bit. Putting a little bit of oil in that frying pan, if you will. So our next game was against Riley right here, and I believe he was playing some sort of, was he playing bait? I can't remember. I think he might have been playing mortar, actually. No, I can't remember. I have dementia. So I just cycled my Larry's. I was like, you know, it could have bait, so I'm just going to be safe in case he does have it. So I just go for the Knight in the back. I think he's playing drill, if I'm not being stupid. Drill? Is it drill? I can't remember. Yeah, it was drill. Okay. So Ice was down low to counteract that drill. He does play to the side, so I need to go for my log early on top of that first Goblin. They did change the Goblin drill in the update. I still don't really understand what the heck is different about it. Like, I think the Goblin spawns weird when the Evo drill's underground. I don't even know what it is. But anyways, back to this game here. Ice was cleaned up those bats. I just set up a preemptive Tesla. He does the same. In this matchup, I just need to make sure I can always keep up with this cycle for the most part and have something in rotation in single elixir for the drills, and I should be okay. But I believe he does have poison. I can't remember actually if he had poison version. which poison versions are a lot more difficult for me. Oh, I remember he has cannon card. I'm like 95% sure he had the cannon card version of this deck. So right here, I didn't have much for the fire spirit. I had to just tank a goblin hit or two, and then I go for the log late. Not a great play, but I had like basically no choice but to do that right there. So it's just all about minimizing every bit of damage I can take and playing good and, you know, just not messing up any interactions. So we had some decent starts here. I mean, like, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. Like, it's definitely winnable. Still, the bats do get a few hits. I predict his Tesla here, which was kind of clean actually, and led me to go for this offensive expo that I'm about to drop right here with the Tesla, and I was like, okay, I'm cooking. And then he drops a cannon card, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not cooking anymore. That was a short-lived cooking session. So the expo just dies out to the fire spirit plus cannon card right here. I don't believe it gets any damage because he does go for the spears, and then I was like, dang, okay, so this is not looking great. I need to go Ice Fizz on top of that. As soon as I saw the cannon card, I was like, oh, this is going to be a really hard game for me to get offensive expo damage in. He does go super aggressive. I just dropped the Evo Tesla right here, which was good timing, but I kind of messed it up a little bit. And I believe I take some hits here, or do I take any damage? I think I take 1 or 2 goblin stabs. Yeah, not great. I mean, I could have gone log right there. I had enough, but I don't want to go down in damage, so I just take the rocket on tower. We tank that fire spirit on the right-hand side, log the spear goblins off the map, and I don't believe he has a big spell, so it's kind of the same situation as last game where I need to stay super aggressive, but obviously he's going to have a better chance of defending my expos when he does have the cannon cart, as opposed to the last person I had faced here, which didn't even have a building, or not a building, a tank. So yeah, I think I just go for the defensive expo, or what did I do? I Tesla'd the drill first. That was good, and then he was for the cannon cart same lane, so I just made sure I kept my Tesla alive for his next drill that he was about to spam here pretty quickly. Just cycled the Ice Fizz in the back. I believe he changed lanes again, if I'm not mistaken, with the drill, because this side was not really working out too well for him. So I just go Skellies up high to block for my Ice Fizz, Tesla the bridge, just because why not? We do kind of predict the Fire Spirit, which was, you know, I mean, didn't really do anything. He goes for the Evo drill, though. I just go for the Knight like this to hopefully predict it, which I do actually catch the drill being in the front. So that means I can save my log, go for the Ice Fizz like this, and then I could just go ahead and get that defense pretty clean. Kind of a sloppy defense, to be honest. I could have taken no damage. I should have taken no damage, but at this point I was like, okay, I just need to take a rocket every time I have enough of an elixir advantage to actually do something with it. So I go here. He doesn't have cannon cart and cycle, so I predict his Evo Tesla with my Knight. Really good prediction that comes in key and clutch the rest of this game, because I had to force him to spend so much more elixir. This NATO was clean as well. I do get an expo lock with that, which was nice. He goes for a second cannon cart, which is a little bit scary, to be honest, but Evo Tesla does the job of cleaning that up on the right hand side, and then it also does the job of cleaning up enough on the left-hand side to where I only have to Ice Fizz. So I go for the Knight like this, and then I believe he tries to NATO this. I can't remember if he has NATO in this deck, to be honest. I have Dementia, like I said, but that was decent. I just go for the Skellies to the bridge. And from this point on, I was feeling very good about myself. We only needed a few more hits or a few more spells before I could rock it twice and win the game. So I just set up a Tesla up high. He does keep going for the drills on the right-hand side. I believe I just go Ice Fizz on top of this drill, and then we just kind of chill, NATO the cannon cart back. Wait, that rhymed. He does have the poison. He hadn't played it much or I don't think he played it at all this entire game. That's why I forgot he had it, to be honest. But I was like, okay, shoot, I could definitely still lose this game if I'm not careful here. So I just cycled my NATO on top of the thing, go for the log. He does get a few hits from the spear goblins, I think, and the goblin right there gets a few stabs. I was kind of panicking at this point, like, man, I'm about to choke this game, but I do go for the Evo Tesla, and then at this point, once I have the Evo Tesla catching the drill, I was like, you know what, I can chill. I can go for the rocket because the Evo Tesla is going to do enough to where I won't have to worry, and then it also kills the Fire Spirit, which was super huge. At this point, I just needed all 3 of my spells to win the game, but I didn't want to panic, so I just go for the NATO to cycle, go for the Knight on top of the drill, which we do catch again, and then I just go for a late log, which also catches that Fire Spirit, which was nice, and then, yeah, we just go for the rocket plus tornado to finish off the game, so I don't have to try and defend another Evo drill, and yeah, perfect sequencing. I pretty much cycled really well that whole game. The matchup could definitely be tricky because he does have that cannon card, but yeah, we did play that one solid, I would say. Okay, this game, I was like, no, we faced Giant Graveyard, man. Giant Graveyard, I was like, dude, this is the one matchup in the entire meta that was like, I can't win, right? There's no way I can win. Besides recruits, but nobody really played recruits at all, at least high up on ladder. I don't even think there was somebody in the top 50 with it, a single person. So I wasn't really worried about any recruits players. This was the one deck I was like, dude, dang, I can't even win this if I play perfectly. But I did play really, really well this game. You know, spoiler alerts, I played super, super well. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what am I thinking in my head? He can't, if he goes for a Giant Grave for the bridge, like, it's fine. If he plays a Giant to back, I'll defensive expo. I cannot play my Ice Fizz or I'll lose the game. I'll tell you why. So if I play my Ice Fizz right now, he'll just go Night Witch, other lane, and then he's just going to ignore the Ice Fizz and take my tower with the Giant Graveyard, and I don't even have a Tesla right now. So at this point, I know this is a weird play, but I literally cycled my Tornado. I know you're going to be like, why didn't you Ice Wiz, Hunter? I'll tell you why. If I cycle my Ice Wiz, I will lose the game because he can go Giant other lane, and I promise you he can Giant Graveyard my bridge anytime he wants when I don't have Ice Wiz in cycle, and I will lose the game because it's like my best counter to the Graveyard, really. So at this point, I was like, okay, I still can't play my Ice Wiz. He's trying to bait it out of me. He knows as soon as I click Ice Wiz down on the map, I'm going to lose the game if I try and defend the Night Witch with it. So he played decently smart. As soon as he plays the minions, I'm like, okay, I can finally Ice Wiz, and we can reset because he doesn't have that much elixir. And then I believe I go for the Expo here because he kind of overcommitted a bit with that zap, in my opinion. So I go Expo, and then I go for the Knight to block the Giant because I know he's going to Bomber after he plays the Giant. So that was a good prediction right there. Even though he didn't go for it, it made him not play it, if that makes sense. So the Skellies came down as well. I actually can't even remember if he had Bomber in cycle now that I think about it at that point. But anyways, that was fine. He has to defend the Knight, so I predict a log on top of something. We do hit the Night Witch, which is solid, and then I don't have to defend the Night Witch coming back towards my tower, and we're into double, and we're in a good situation. Like this, well, I was happy with how this started. I didn't get overwhelmed in single, and that's the hardest part in this matchup for sure. It's still pretty much impossible to defend a Giant Graveyard push if they do concoct one the correct way. In double or triple, it doesn't matter what elixir time it is. But I go for the Knight to block the minions. Good timing, and then I just go for the offensive Expo. I was feeling myself right here. Like, I was feeling good. I just go for the log. The Evo Bomber is, Evo Bomber's going to do what Evo Bomber's going to do, right? So it cleaned up my entire push, basically. He goes for the Night Witch, but I get a second Ice Wiz down. At this point, I'm like, wait, I can maybe break through. I go for the Skellies. I know it's aggressive, but I'm like, wait, I have a chance. And then he ruins my hopes and dreams with an Evolution Zap. So, depression. But I do go for the Expo. I'm like, maybe he can't Giant, but he does get the Giant down just in time, and of course he gets enough elixir to play it in front of the Bomber. So at this point, I'm like, how on earth did he just get that down when he overcommitted with both of his spells on top of that low HP Expo? But that's just Clash Royale. He goes for the Graveyard, and at this point I panicked hard. Luckily he played the minions right into a Tornado, which kind of helped me, and I also knew he didn't have Evo Zap and cycle, so I had to burn the Knight on 0 right there. Ice Wiz saved my life, and I was like, dude, I just defended that with like no notice for only 200 damage. I was starting to believe, guys. I was starting to believe I could win this. So I just go for the Tesla up high. There's the Night Witch, and only because I have the Tesla down, I could cycle the Ice Wiz in the back. He still goes for the Giant Graveyard opposite lane, I believe. So well, not really prediction, but I had my NATO pre-placed so he couldn't cheese me. We know that he's going to Bomber the bridge, so I do predict it. He plays it too early as well, so the Tesla killed. I was like, bro, this guy's making so many mistakes, man. He still gets like somehow 500 damage. That was maybe the worst push I've ever seen, and he still got 500 damage from it. But I just go for the Tesla up high, and then I believe I go for... Do I go for an Expo? I don't think I do. I think I just was like, okay, I need to bunker down and play the best defense of my life. Never mind, I did go for the Expo. I lied. So he goes Giant the bridge. Obviously, he's going to Evo Bomber probably in this situation. So I just Tornado everything back so he can't Evo Bomber, at least not quickly. So I go for the log, and then I go for my Ice Wiz on 0, I believe, to kill the rest of the skeletons. He does Evo Zap that, which is brain damage, but luckily for me, the Expo forces him to go for the guard, so he can't really Evo Bomber cheese me. I do predict this Evo Bomber at the bridge as well. I think he goes for it here. I can't remember if he had it in cycle. No, it looks like he didn't go for it, but at this point, it was like 50 seconds. We killed the Evo Bomber with the Tesla. I was like, wait, I can rocket his tower now. We can do this. So I go for the rocket. I also NATO that Night Witch. I was starting to feel myself. I was like, no way, we're going to do it, guys. We're going to do it. So he goes Giant opposite lane. I kind of panicked a little bit here and went Ice Wiz Knight, and then I believe he minions. I can't remember. That was like just, yeah, I kind of panicked here, guys. I spent so much elixir, and that kind of cost me the game. You'll see in a second. You think I'm going to win this, right? Like, I thought I was going to win this, man. He goes for the Giant at the bridge. Oh, this was such a bad night, man. That night was so bad. It pains me to watch this, bro. I don't want to watch this last 20 seconds, man. I really don't. So, yeah, he's just kind of spamming, and then as soon as the Giant crosses the river... No, man. No. This is so sad. No, look away, guys. Look away. Don't watch the Bomber. Don't watch the Bomber. Yep, as you can see, the phone. Bro, I forgot I swiped out of the game. That was so funny. Oh, I crashed out hard after that game because I played so well the whole time until the last 20 seconds. I just sold. I got nervous. But our next game here was against Ian. I knew he was playing the Little Prince Rocket deck. So I baited him to Rocket. Then I went for the Expo on 0, and I won the game. I'm not even trolling. He messed up because my Knight was supported by those skeletons. So obviously my Knight's going to survive, right? And then I think he goes for... I don't even know what he does right here. I think he just is dead. He goes for the Skellies, and then I pre-log for an Ice Spirit that he plays. I don't know if he plays it. But yeah, we get a huge log, and things were going super well. I have my Knight ready for the Princess opposite lane, which he does drop. Oh, look at that, guys. Predicted his entire life savings right there. But anyways, I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was fuming. Like, I was pissed, bro. You can probably see by the way I'm like holding and hovering cards that I was angry that I lost that last game, bro. So I wanted to get it back for sure. And this matchup you can easily lose if you don't play perfectly. So that was a good Skellies. The reason it was good is because look at that damage I just got, like, right? If I leave the knight by itself, he doesn't have to LP, number one, and he also can isn't going to take, like, much damage at all. So I go for the Ice Wiz on top of this little prince. Man, that game still makes me mad. Like, and this is, like, what, how many days later? 4 or 5 days later. I just go for the rocket on the tower. He can't really punish that. We have a very, very good start against this deck. I just need 3 more rockets, basically, to secure the victory. We know he's going to princess at any point, so I always have my Tesla hovered for it. I believe he goes for it again. I mean, it's like he has to do it because he has to catch up on damage, but it is pretty obvious what he's about to do. So I think I actually expoed on 0 here. It was an aggressive play. I can't remember if it paid off or not, to be honest. I don't think it did much because he had knight and just LP. I think I do NATO the LP immediately because I know he doesn't have enough elixir to pop the ability, so that was kind of decent. It wasn't, like, amazing, though. The LP somehow survived as well, and I played my Skellies late, so it was just a whole, like, that was just a bad sequence by me. Like, I want to forget that ever happened, to be honest. But I hover my knight for the princess. We know he's going to do it at any second, so we've always got to be on ready. He does go for the rocket, and then he princesses right away to, you know, he's going to predict my rocket on his tower, right? So I always kept the knight hovered right there. It was smart, and then I just needed a few more spells to win the game. So obviously he's going to Evo Skellies that night. I can just go for the Ice Wiz like this. I don't even think I did Ice Wiz. I think I just Tesla'd the river just in case he princessed. You know, always want to keep something at the river. So we could cycle our log finally on offense, and then we just need 2 more rockets. He rockets my tower so I could Ice Wiz then rocket his. And there's no way for him to punish me with the troop. So at this point, I was feeling pretty good. I thought I had this one secured in the bag. I can't remember what happens in this last 20 seconds. I think he's pretty much, like, he doesn't give up, but it's like, you know, there's no way he can come back. I predict the princess, the bridge, and then we just go for the Evo Tesla up high on top of it after I cycle my log, and that was GG's. So really good game right there. We kind of beat him off of one play at the start, just like baiting his rocket out on offense, when I knew that if he rocketed, I would get so much damage from him overcommitting, and I just rocket to finish off the tower. It looked like it was kind of close, but it really wasn't a close game. Like, we had control of that one the entire time and took down the Hog Rider 77. Originally, when I matched with this guy, I was like, oh, shoot, is this the same guy that I played that was Giant Graveyard? I was like, no, this can't be real, bro. This can't be real. And he cycled the bomber in the back. I was like, no, no, no. This is my worst nightmare. I have to go through this again after I just played the sweatiest game of my life and almost won it. But it wasn't. It was a different deck. I can't remember what he was playing. I think he's playing Pekka or Drill. I'm pretty sure it was Pekka. Honestly, the fact that I hadn't faced much Pekka at this point and when I was pushing was kind of surprising because Pekka is literally everywhere in this meta. Also, it is this season, like, currently happening. So as soon as he cycled the Fisherman, I was literally jumping for joy. I was like, yes, it's not Giant Graveyard, bro. I can actually have a chance to win the game. But I don't believe, I can't even remember what he does, to be honest. I think it's kind of like a stalemate for a few seconds where we're both just sitting here not really doing much. Obviously, I can't go anything. Like, you look at my 4 cards in cycle. You drop an Ice Wiz, he Pekkas, you lose. You drop an Expo, he Pekkas, you lose. So I just go Ice Wiz like this to defend the Phoenix. And he doesn't have Fisherman in cycle, so I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about him yanking my Ice Wiz across the river and me insta losing the game. I think he goes Goblin Giant the bridge, if I'm not mistaken. No, he just zaps. He was playing pretty passive for a Pekka player. I do go for the knight like this. Basically, I don't really need my knight in this situation. Like, it's not going to do much for me. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to slap a Pekka down for that. Fair enough. Surprised he didn't do it earlier, to be honest. So I just go for the defensive expo to defend this Pekka. I also have my Tesla hovered if he goes Goblin Giant. I do place the Tesla like this, and I'm trying my best. I'm like, okay, I want to get King Tower if possible here. That would be ideal. But unfortunately, I kind of mess up my, like, just everything was kind of sloppy here. I could have still gone for the NATO maybe on 0 and got the King Tower. I probably should have, looking back at it. I don't know. It was aggressive if I did, but I played a perfect defense, to be fair. It was just like a little sloppy with my interactions. If I would have got the Tesla to hit the Pekka first, then I could have not had to log, and then I could have just NATO'd to King Tower and saved elixir. It was a whole thing, like, you know, it could have been better is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Anyways, okay, so I knew he had Evo Pekka in cycle. I cycle my knight. I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna Pekka this. He goes for the Phoenix, and I'm like, wow, that's very, very passive. I'm just, like, in shock that he's playing so passive. There's the Pekka in the back. I just slap a defensive or an offensive expo and that Evo Tesla the river. We know he's gonna Goblin Giant, so I make sure I get this down immediately so he can't really pressure me too hard. And at this point, he's kind of panicking. He's like, okay, I have to go Goblin Giant on 0. I go for my knight as well because he's gonna play a spell. There's the zap right there, so I just go for the log on top of this. It kills the bomber too, which was super good at the time. I believe I get a lock on here. No, it goes on the Pekka. I thought it locked on the tower, but I was mistaken. But that Evo Knight does force him to defend. I can go Skellies on top of that Pekka after he does play that rage. And yeah, it was pretty solid. Like, everything was good right there. I defended well, you know. Evo Pekka didn't cheese me too hard, so I go for another offensive expo, trying to predict the Pekka at the back, but, you know, no luck at that time, unfortunately. He does go for the bomber at the bridge, I think, if I remember correctly. No, he Goblin Giants opposite lane. I was like, okay, wait, this might be a little sketchy. There's the bomber at the river that he placed, and then I was like, okay, I just need my Tornado plus Log to kill all this, to kill the bomber and also the Goblin Giants. My Ice Wiz should slow down that Goblin Giant, but nope, he played a billion spells on that. I knew he was going to zap as soon as he arrowed, so I made sure I cycled around, and unfortunately, he does get that one Goblin Giant hit. Did he deserve that hit? I don't know. That's up for debate, I guess. But I just cycled another Tesla in the middle. I think he Pekka again. Or Fisherman this. I'm not sure. Yeah, Fisherman it was. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to slap a defensive expo down. If he Pekka's the back, maybe I could rock it. My thought process here was like, okay, he's got Evo Goblin Giant in cycle. If I rock it, I'll probably lose this game. So I'm just going to cycle Ice Wiz in the back. These two evolutions together, guys. Oh my gosh, bro. Whew, it's stressful. It is very stressful. You're going to see right here. This defense was, you know, far from the easiest one I've ever played in my life. That's a good way to describe it, I think. So I just go for the log early, go for the Ice Wiz quickly to kill the bomber was my hope. Unfortunately, I didn't kill the bomber, and I had to spend my NATO, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of hurting for elixir. I think he Pekka's the river here. I can't remember exactly. Oh, no, he Pekka's the back. Yeah, okay. So that was fine. I was like, you know what? I'm down 6 elixir. Not the best defense ever, but we at least defended both of those, or that big push, with not like a massive amount of trouble. So I just set up a defensive expo. At this point, I'm just going to have to defend for my life and somehow hold him off for 50 seconds when he's going to get back to an Evo Pekka in a few seconds here. So I was like, okay, he's probably going to Pekka the bridge in a second. So I just made sure I could rocket this quickly to kill that, and then Skelly's behind to keep my Ice Wiz alive so it would deal with that Phoenix, and I wouldn't have to overcommit more elixir. This was a problem. I was like, wow, I really wish I had King Tower activated here. I do go for the NATO like this, and then I go for the Knight on top of the Phoenix Egg, which was super nice. I was kind of panicking at this point. I was like, whoa, I'm taking damage, I think, but I didn't even know what was happening, so I just popped the Evo Tesla. What a defense, honestly. I don't even know how to like commentate what that defense was. I knew there's only 20 seconds. He's going to go for the Goblin Giant in full send in this opposite lane, of course, so I know he doesn't have any Evolution Bomber, Cheese, or any of that, since he has both the Evolution Pekka and the Goblin Giants. And yeah, only 15 seconds. He tries to spell cycle me, but bro, come on, bro, you're not spell cycling me. I'm playing Ice Bow. So he does go for a Goblin Giant last second, but I just go for the Log Tornado to pull everything back. And yeah, really solid win right there. Our defenses were like kind of next level, I want to say. There was a few times in this game, like that Goblin Giant Evo, when I barely got my Evo Tesla down in time, where I thought I was maybe going to get cooked and probably rage quit and bang my phone against the wall a few times after, but I did manage to pull this one off, and that put me pretty high in the rankings. He was decently high up, and I was also pretty high up at this point, getting towards the end of the season. I was 22nd, so I was like, okay, we're coming back, getting back around. You can see right there, only an hour and 48 minutes left in the season. Whenever I matched up against Rock-On right here, I'm not going to lie, I started jumping up and down with joy. I was like, yes, we've got a good matchup. We've got a good matchup, and he's really far above me, so if I win, I'm going to get like 37 trophies or something. So anyways, against Lava Hound, basically, I should win most of the time if I don't get a really bad starting hand, number one, or if I don't get my tower gone in one push. So I go for the Tesla right here on top of the Eye Drag. I usually wouldn't do that, but my cycle was just like kind of awkward. If I played a Knight instead, he would have lava the bridge, and then I just would have had a whole mess to deal with, and it wouldn't have been great. So I decided that was good. I just cycle my log and get to my Ice Wiz here for this balloon as well. I'm kind of half expecting him to go for the Void on this Ice Wiz. In the back of my mind, I'm like, wow, I don't have my Tornado in cycle. This kind of sucks. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be hovering my Skellies in case he does go for the Void. As soon as he lava it, I go for the Expo opposite lane. The reason I did this is because I know he didn't have Eye Dragon cycle. And if he voids, I've got my Skellies, right? So he's going to have to, if he wants to actually kill the Expo, he'd have to void and then zap my skeletons as well. So we were in a good spot here. I believe he tries to tower trade me. No, he goes for a Valk. That was like maybe the worst Valk of all time because I was going to Knight that. I mean, always. I don't know why I wouldn't Knight that right there. So we take the tower. He does go for the Skelly Drags. I'm like, okay, if I can defend this, then I win the game. So I go Skellies to kite that one dragon, at least for a second, to give my Tesla a little bit more time to kill the skeleton dragons, which it ends up doing just barely, I believe, which was perfect. I'm like, yes, okay, we got this. So he goes Balloon. I was pretty happy with this defense, so I knew he didn't have Zap and Cycle, so a well-timed rocket would clutch up on this defense, and then boom, just like that, we pretty much won the game. He burnt his Void as well, and he started immediately laughing. You know, I mean, he just lava'd and ignored the entire expo, so I mean, to be fair, he did kind of deserve to lose that game. Didn't play that great. Maybe he had I don't even know. He didn't even have a bad cycle because he did play the Lava Hounds. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he gives up. I don't think he actually kept playing. I can't remember if he did. I know at some point he gives up, but I can't remember if he gave up right away or he just like, you know, stalled out the game. No, he gave up right away, so that was a pretty easy win. I'll just go ahead and cut to the next game. All right, this game was nuts. I'm gonna be honest. This was a perfect this is clinical right here. So, anyways, basically we're up against Luminary. At the point of this game, I remember specifically he was like third, I think, in the world, and I was like I can't remember like 17th or 18th or something. So this was a really big game, bro. And there was less than an hour left in the season at this point. So this was kind of like a deal breaker for me. If I won this game, I have a chance to get a top 10 finish. I just have to win like one or two more games. I think one more game actually. But we did end up catching the miner, which was super nice right there. So pretty much a perfect start to the game. We killed his mortar, and we didn't get out cycled. So, you know, it's like the best thing you could possibly have to start the game right here. So anyways, I cycled my knight in the back. He goes for the guards. I just dropped my ice whiz, which actually gets me a ton of value right here. It kills the guards, and it actually goes on to hit his tower in a few seconds as well, which is super nice. He does go for the mortar opposite lane. I thought, okay, I'm just going to get the Tesla down in a second once it locks on the other side. And no, he had other ideas. He wanted to Skelly King the bridge, which, you know, I'm fine with that because thinking about his cycle, he doesn't have ice whiz guards or Skelly King in cycle, so he can't do anything for the ice wizard. And my ice whiz goes crazy on his tower. Look at this. 1, 2, give me the third. Bang, bro. That was so clean, bro. And that damage as well is super important for later in this game. You would think, oh, it's just a few ice whiz hits. Why is that going to like be important? But man, I'm telling you, it's so hard to get damage. And every like 300-400 bit of damage like that you can get is massive in this matchup for your like ability to just be able to defend more. Like I basically needed to set up a turtle defense the whole game if I'm gonna win this now. So we had about 1,000 damage lead. Really good start to the game. I know Cannoneer gave me a little bit of a boost, of course, like it always does. But I just go for the log on top of the left hand side. Basically, my thought process is just don't get cheesed by an Evo Mortar and don't get overwhelmed by a Cannon Card Evo Bats. Evo Bats was the thing on my mind right here the whole time. I was like, in my head, I was just going Evo Bats, Evo Bats, Evo Bats. Watch out for the Evo Bats. And this, you'll see right here that I did end up catching them with this. Watch this NATO. Bang! Got the Evo Bats. That was so clean, bro. That made me so happy, actually. The reason that was so important is that because if he was able to get those Evo Bats to heal themselves, I couldn't have NATO'd them, and I would have been in trouble. He would have popped the ability after I NATO'd, and it would have been like a whole just mess. But luckily, I did predict that, so it was good. I just went for my log on top of the guards, and then I slapped a defensive expo down again. Just want to play as passive as possible. There's no reason for me to go offensive expo because, I mean, he's just going to cannon card, right? This was a super good tornado as well. Pulled in all the bats and killed the miner with no hits on my expo. So, man, I was feeling good enough to rock it right there. And then play some skellies at the bridge. I know, feeling aggressive, guys. Feeling so aggressive with that play. But the skelly did get there, actually. So, you know, I think it was worth it. I went for the knight in the back, and I know he's going to go super aggressive here. So basically, I just went for my ice whiz. I think I slapped a defensive expo down first. Yeah, I slapped a defensive expo, and I was like super patient. This defense was kind of clean. I just waited a second, went for the tornado plus log on top of the Skelly King. It cleaned up everything. I went for the skellies on the ice whiz, and then I just kind of let things die out. The ice whiz finally died to my expo. The mortar gets a few shots on my tower here in a second, but I knew he was going to mortar again, so I had to keep this hovered. Good guards prediction by him right there. I've got to give him some credit for that one. That was I mean, he got the prediction, but I did have ice whiz down. He does burn a cannon card. I'm not sure, to be honest, if I would have done that, but basically he full sends the bridge right here. I go for my knight on top of his cannon cart, and then I just go for my log skellies to make sure the miner DPS is down fairly quickly. He does arrows, but I'm like, you know what, honestly, that arrows wasn't great. Even though he is getting a bunch of miner hits, I think we're in a good situation to win the game. So I just go ice whiz in the back, Tesla the river in case he does go for a mortar. And then I knew he was going to go mortar since he played his guards. I was like, okay, I'll stop a defensive expo down right now and just try and defend. So of course he goes for the mortar. We predict this cannon cart with this knight as well, which was super nice. And yeah, I felt pretty good about defending this Evo mortar now. I just needed to cycle back around to one more ice whiz to help DPS down the mortar, so it didn't take out my entire defensive. And then we catch the miner with the skellies once again. He's going to arrows that, and every time he arrows, think about it, guys. He just played 6 elixir on my tower, and I only played 1 to defend. So I can rock it for free, basically. Like, I only go down 1 elixir in that circumstance right there. So that's why I keep rocketing after he plays arrows on my tower. But anyways, I just went for the knight like this. He has the cannon card, like, play some desperation plays right here. I just go ahead and grab the king tower activation with 45 seconds left, which actually is still important in this time in the game. I just rocketed all this because I was kind of scared of getting overwhelmed by a bunch of different things. Slapped another defensive expo down, and I think at this point he was kind of pissed because, I mean, bro, he couldn't really do anything. So I just Evo Tesla the river, skellied, knighted, all that, you know. Just wanted to make sure he couldn't get any kind of substantial push going across the river with only 20 seconds left. So I think he goes for another miner here. He goes for an offensive mortar, trying to just like do anything he can at this point. So I was just like, I'm going to set up as many things on the map as I can. Played my knight super high on that miner just in case the what's it called, the mortar does lock on my knight, which it actually does. So I'm glad I did that. And then I just cycled my skellies, went for a Tesla all the way over to the left hand side and won the game. So yeah, pretty flawless. I went for the pre-NATO at the end, did not happen, but it didn't really matter. He was a little bit upset at the time. I don't know. I mean, people just get mad when they lose and start spamming emotes. It's kind of funny. But anyways, we played that one pretty much to perfection. I think this one put me like number 12 or something in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check right here. Yeah, what was I at? Oh, yeah, I was 12th. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I was 12th going into like the last hour-ish of the season, or I didn't even look at the timer. Wait, how much time? 53 minutes left. Okay, so I found a match against Dominic, and I was like, okay, nice. We get another Lava Hound. I have a chance to win if I just play perfectly. And this game would have put me, I think this game puts me, if I do end up winning, would have put me like 12th or something. No, I was already 12th. I can't remember what I was at this point, honestly. But I had to rocket this immediately. If he does get the perfect cycle, which he did right here, having Lava and Skelly Drags in the first 4 cards, then I do have to rocket that and try and just somehow defend this. I believe he almost takes my entire tower here, though. Like, there's no, I mean, look at my elixir. He's basically about to hit 10 right now. He just hit 10 as soon as he plays this Mega Minion, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm cooked. So he goes for the balloon as well. I dropped the Tesla early, and I was like, whoa, I need to go Skellies to kite the Mega Minion. We need to make sure I DPS things down quickly. I go Ice Wiz. I think he voids it, but it's a little bit late. Like, the void just kind of comes down late and doesn't clean up my Ice Wiz quick enough, and I'm able to actually tornado everything back, and the Mega Minion dies, and I actually save my tower, which was a miracle. Pretty good, pretty bad, like, decently bad guards by him. The Mega Minion still takes out like the majority of my tower, but being able to save my tower above 1,000 HP right here was like honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. And at this point I'm like, okay, so we're probably going to take each other's tower at one point in this game, right? So like my mindset shifted to this left-hand tower and how I'm going to start chipping it down while he's trying to take my tower, because he still has to commit to basically an entire push. So he goes for the zap. I just cycled my knight in the back. At this point I was like, okay, if he gives me a free rocket I might take it, but I was like, Mega Minion, that's just not worth it because he'll be able to lava. I set up a Tesla trying to bait him to go Lava Hound. That's what I was like hoping he would just lava the bridge in front of this. I think he just goes Skelly Drags the back though. It was like good patience by him, but I just Ice Wizarded it, and then I believe I rocketed his Skelly Drags once he did go for the Lava Hound at the river. So I was like, yeah, we'll just take that off the map right away. If he voids my Ice Wiz, it is what it is. He'll probably take my tower. But I was like, you know what? We're not even down any, like basically any elixir, because he had to drop a whole Lava Hound at the bridge in single still. So I was like, not even worried about this push. I just went for the tornado early to kill the pups. Didn't want to play any games with the Lava Hound pups. And then I believe I slapped down an offensive expo here soon on the... Oh yeah, I did this first because he played his Valk, the knight in front, and then I logged the guards to predict. I didn't hit him, but it didn't really matter because he had to spend even more elixir, which in turn just gave me more time to just kind of stall. And then I could just chill. So I went for the Evo Tesla. I think he actually switched lanes. I don't remember if he Lava Hounded or not. I think he did. Yeah, he actually Lava Hounded in that in the other side, which was like, I was shocked. I was like, what, really? But yeah, he went for the Valk, which kind of messed up. It went back to his tower, and the Ice was splashed. I was like, yes, we just need one more log to get the tower down. So I just cycle my Tesla, get my knight down. We know he's going to void something. He decides to void the Ice Wizard, and my Evo Tesla is still alive and kicking. So I just like kind of chilled. I knew I had the Death Shockwave at any time I wanted it, so I just went for the Ice Wiz like this. Let the Tesla expire, then went for another Tesla right here to kill all the Skelly Jags. Only 8 seconds left. He didn't even get my right-hand side tower. I think he got way too like focused on the left-hand side of the map and didn't end up like committing anything, or even a Lava Hound, or trying to Lava Hounds on that right-hand side. But we got a nice 31 trophy win right there, and I think that, what did that put me at? That put me at 12th again. I was basically like right back to where I was, and the season was coming to a close. I know what you're thinking. You're facing Dominic. Oh my gosh, Hunter, you're going to get a top 10 finish. And if I win this game right here, I would have got a top 10 finish. And I just beat this guy like 20 minutes before this game. I was like, wait, I have a chance, bro. He played the guards. I was like, wait, he's playing the same deck. I can do this. Wait, I was like, bro, I can actually win this game. So he played the Zap. I was like, okay, traditional Lava Hound deck. Nothing crazy. I don't have a good cycle here. I don't have anything to play. I don't have Ice Wiz. I don't have Log. I just need to chill. So I was like, I'm just going to wait for him to make a play. My knight does get one hit on the tower. I'm like, you know, I'll take that hit. That hit, I appreciate that hit. So I was just waiting for him to lava the back at this point. I was like, oh my gosh, he slapped a Pekka at the back. I was like, what the fudge do I do? So I expoed because I was like, wait, he played that, and then he has a balloon. Through my head right now, I was like, okay, so he doesn't have a Lava Hound. He's playing Pekka Balloon Freeze, probably trying to snipe somebody or something. I don't know what was happening, but I was like, wait, this is really good, guys. This is really good. I just went for the Skellies up high. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I have a good start. I got 1,500 damage on the tower with my Expo. He didn't get any damage. I'm not down Elixir. And you will see very quickly what went wrong. So he played the Lava at the back. I'm like, okay, so he's playing Lava Hound Pekka. I was like, that's fine. We have our Ice Wiz. He's probably going to try and void this off the map. So I played the Ice Wiz in the back, and this was... this play right here really pissed me off. So he played a Fisherman, and it grabbed my Ice Wiz. I was like, what the heck just happened? So he went for the void. I was kind of panicking at this point. I was like, wait, I just kind of lost. Because the Fisherman, like, what, why, just why? That's my question, is just why. So I go for the rocket, he just zaps, and I just lose the game. Like, there's no way to really put it, bro. Like, as soon as he zapped, I was like, man, I have to overcommit with my Ice Whiz. He's got Evo Pekka and Cycle, and I'm in such a bad rotation. So that one Fisherman quite literally cost me this entire game. You guys will see. I mean, I still obviously tried my best. I was kind of pissed right now because I was like, dude, are you kidding me? He just randomly puts in a, this is also a bad play by me, I'm not going to lie. But he just randomly puts in a Pekka Fisherman in a Lava Hound deck, and I just got completely blindsided by the Fisherman, and it cost me. So as soon as I played this Tornado, I lost the game. I'm just going to show you guys that it was just bad. So he played Evo Pekka in the river. I mean, he voided my Tesla. I was just cooked, bro. There's no other way to describe it than I was finished. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have enough for Rocket. I couldn't really get a Rocket play anyways. So I was kind of just panicking. I went for the Tornado. It was like, okay, but the Pekka did get a swing on that Tesla, I think, and then that just like spiraled. I couldn't do anything, and I just lost my entire tower. This was probably like the most like upset I'd ever been in my life, bro, because dude, like, I had this matchup, I just beat this matchup, and he pulls out a Pekka and a Fisherman, bro. Really not even the Pekka that killed me. It was just that one Fisherman grabbed my Ice Whiz and messed up the entire game, and I was so sad. At this point, guys, I was like literally so sad. I was like, are you kidding me? That just happened. He pulled out a Pekka and a Lava Hound deck and a Fisherman. But I just, you know, there was not much time in the season. There was like 5 minutes left, so I just, I mean, instantly queued into a game. I was like, bro, I couldn't believe what just happened. I was like, bro, did that actually just happen? That was my chance to get a top 10 finish. If I just won that single game, I would have gotten it. So I was just sitting in this queue, like, man, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was like, what was I even saying? I was just like, this happens to me. Something always happens to me every season. Some garbage, bro. At the very end, like, something random happens, and then I choke because of that play, and, you know, it just cost me. So imagine how different that game would have been right there if I just played that knight that I put behind the Ice Whiz in front of the Ice Whiz. But I didn't know he had the Fisherman, obviously, so you can't really blame me. I didn't know what the heck was happening. That I've never seen that deck in my life before. So this was the last game that I played of the season right here against Pompeo, and I was just like, I was mad for sure. So I did play this game pretty well, I will say. What did I even do? I think I just waited for him to make a play. I was like, man, I don't know what it was, but I was just so sad right now. I remember being so sad, and it was like almost 4 in the morning. That's when the season ends, and I was just like going through the emotions. So anyways, I cycled my knight in the back. I still was like pretty much guaranteed a new best finish. Even if I lost this game, I would have got like 25th or something, which is a little bit better than what I had. So I was just like, does this really matter? But, you know, it did matter in the end. I just went for the Ice Whiz like this. I think he fireballed that immediately, and I was like, you know what? He's going to play like that. I can just be patient and go for a Tesla and then probably Expo since he has no fireball in cycle. So I did drop the Expo on 0. I know that's kind of like aggressive, but this is how you kind of have to play the matchup right here. You can tell I'm mad because I'm spamming Tornado on 0. Like, you know, you can just tell when I'm clicking cards like that I'm pissed off. And I'm playing super aggressive as well. You know, it just is that like anger. Yeah, look at me. I played the knight on 0 on the other side, I think, once he zapped. This was actually a smart play, though. So the reason I did this is because I knew he had to go for the cage on 0, and as soon as he plays the cage, my knight plus Skelly should be able to kill it really quick, and I can log the brawler as soon as it spawns. This was like kind of maybe one of the better plays I made all game. It got my knight to the tower. I believe he had to play something. I think he just let that hit. Yeah, he had to go for the miner, and then as soon as he played the miner, I knew he didn't have anything for the Expo, like any ground units. So I just dropped my Expo off on 0. He Inferno Dragoned it. I didn't have anything for the Inferno Dragon, but it was worth it for sure. So I got like 700-800 damage from the Expo. Really well played single elixir by me. I would say single elixir is definitely hard for him, though. Like, if he doesn't play perfectly, then he could easily lose. But the same thing kind of goes for me in double and triple elixir. You guys will see why I say that pretty quickly. But yeah, I was feeling pretty good about how I performed in single right there. And I believe he Ice Golem this to tank for the Ice Wizard. Yeah, that was fine. And then, yeah, we're up like, what, 700-800 damage-ish. I was feeling good, but it is very hard to defend consistently against this deck. He has super high pressure. He's got the Fireball, the Miner always coming in at your tower. So I predict his Balloon right there with my Tesla. Not bad. I believe he Fireballs my Tesla off the map, which was kind of scary. I go for the Tornado to pull everything back, and then as soon as he Fireballed that Tesla, I was like, oh, shoot. I gotta be careful. So I just went for the Evo Tesla up high. And just like that, where did my lead go, guys? Oh, Miner plus Evo Zap. Yep. I just love playing Expo sometimes. But luckily for me, I still had a good situation. Like, I could still win this game. So I went for the offensive Expo like this. Evo Tesla was sitting there protecting me very well. I think he goes for the miner. I can't remember exactly how he defended this, but I think he goes miner. So I just went for the rocket on his tower, and then I retargeted his miner with my knights. Took no miner damage, and we got a decent rocket. And the Expo also connected for a few ticks, which is huge in this matchup. So we got our damage back, our damage lead back that we had before. Feeling pretty good now. I played my Tesla one more higher because he can't fireball the tower and the Tesla in this position. And this was going to be a sweaty game, guys. That's all I have to say. So I just cycle my log. He knows he's going to have to do something opposite lane. He can't just go same lane as me the whole time, or he will end up losing. That's just how it kind of was. So I cycled the knight in the back. I was like, okay, I need to get a second Tesla down to start DPSing down everything he plays, just like quickly. So he fireballed the 2 Teslas. I was cool with that. I just cycled my log. And then I believe I Ice Wizard, on top of the Inferno Dragon. He goes for another miner. I caught the miner with the knights, and I was feeling so good at this point. I was like, okay, I'm going to win this. And I'm going to be a little bit less pissed off and sad from that last game. As you could see, I did queue into the game immediately. Like, there's not much time. There's, like, I think 6 minutes left in the season after I popped, like, out of that last game. So I was like, man, I'm still so mad about it. But anyways, I Evo Tested like this. It kind of cleaned up things, but it was a little bit awkward. I don't know. This was, like, an awkward situation. The Evo Zap just, like, cooked me right here. And I can't remember what he does. I think he just kind of let this go, and then I played my knight to kite everything back. But as you can see, like, this game, I can't get damage really. I kind of have to just go for rockets and get damage that way. But I was kind of struggling, so I predicted Ice Wiz I predicted his Ice Golem with that Ice Wiz, which was kind of nice. A nice little tornado back as well was nice. I caught the miner. Actually, I didn't catch the miner with my skellies, but he does go for the fireball zap miner, and look at that, guys. It's just like a free 800 damage every time he does it. It's also very, very frustrating for me whenever he has Evo Zap in cycle. So I did go for the tornado. I went for the knight. I didn't catch the miner again, and I was like, dude, I'm actually gonna lose this game because I can't catch a single freaking miner. As you can see, I'm down like 200 damage basically, which was just like so demoralizing because I was playing this game really well, and he just started spamming me. So I just went for the rocket. This tornado was kind of clutch as well. I think I went for it right now. This was like, bro, I thought I lost the game when he Evo Zapped right there. So as soon as he Evo Zapped, I was like, wait, I just lost the game. So I had to go for a rocket like this. Only 18 seconds left. I knew I had to get a rocket down on 0 if I wanted to win the game in the last like 2 seconds. So I had to cycle back around. I went for my skellies to try and catch any type of miner that he went for in a second. Then I rocketed on 0. Only 4 seconds left. I spammed my tornado as quick as possible. Luckily for me, his fireball did not come down in time, and we did manage to pull off the game just by like the splittest of a second right there. But yeah, that was an insane video. The season was insane. I got 16th in the world. I'm happy with how I did, to be honest. I'm mad I didn't get top 10 because that game just like cooked me, man. That game really like chalked my mental. But I tried my best, and you never know what could have happened if the situation was a little bit different. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this longer video of me just like showcasing the entire season end, and we'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Peace.